Hi there, and welcome to the Leaving Today podcast, the podcast that discusses the Disneyland Resort and the Disney IP in an enthusiastic, informative, and often humorous way. Show notes for this episode and every episode can be found on leavingtodaypodcast.com. If you're listening to us on iTunes or Stitcher Radio, please subscribe and leave a comment. Until then, thank you for listening and enjoy the show.
Well, come on, Wendy. Let's go.
But where are we going?
To Neverland.
Neverland.
Hello. Welcome to the Leaving Today podcast, episode number 71. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight. My name is Mark, one of the co-hosts here. Sitting to the left of me is the game changer herself, Jess.
Hello.
And sitting to the right of me is the trail master of puppets himself, Hury.
Good evening.
Yes, it is a Thursday night. We're coming to you a little off schedule, but that's how we do it here at the LTP Hideaway. It's a very nice Thursday night. So tonight we're going to keep things a little bit light because episode 70 was a bit heavy and a bit dark, and we just kind of wanted to turn the page a little bit. But you know what? As we mentioned, that being in Disneyland is going to be a relationship that's going to break your heart. Sometimes you need to have that hard conversation, Get
it out.
Yeah. Don't you agree, Jess?
I agree.
Okay.
My Wi-Fi's not working. That's why I'm kind of...
Oh, yeah.
Sorry.
So while Jess is hard at fixing her Wi-Fi situation...
Well, I have to do this day in Disney history for Dan, so I need it.
Let's see. It is October 11th. So we're starting the fourth quarter of 2018 or end of third. I'm thinking, actually, we're just at the end of third quarter.
Right.
So lots of news going on in the park right now. This is what we're going to talk about tonight. And so let's see here. But the progress Star Wars Galaxy's Edge is right on track. That's coming up probably next April of 2019. Matterhorn is closed to the November 16th. And what they're doing over there is redoing the queue or the set of queues and stuff over there for the single rider and regular and fast pass.
Which are all needed.
All needed.
Never mind. Not going to go negative.
Halloween parties are in full swing right now, which is great.
Yeah. My favorite.
Yeah. And so we also branched out this week and started a little Instagram video, which I apologize now because I didn't do it right. I don't know what I'm doing with that. And we're going to...
Help me.
Yes, exactly. We're going to get better at that. And I think that's a platform that we're going to be using in the future for things. So so tonight we don't really have a major topic. We're going to have one-on-one with Jess, and we're going to talk about some of the new stuff and keep things light. We also asked you guys some questions on the Instagram thing, so we're going to get to those. So what else here? House cleaning here. Patreon. Yes, Patreon. We have a Patreon page. Go to our show notes, leavingtodaypodcast.com. Click on the Patreon logo. And we've got 3 tiers set up for your enjoyment. It's either $12 a year, $36 a year, or $60 a year. Or you can pay one time of $1, $3, or $5, whatever you guys want. It goes to just helping the show go and helping when we send out merchandise and stuff. Speaking of that, we're going to be having some T-shirts coming up soon. And this is a quick shout out to anyone who's out there who's a graphic artist. Let us know. We'll need your help. And I think... Is Aaron doing something?
Who? Oh, no, I don't. He gave us an idea for one.
Yeah?
But I kind of want to take his idea and make our riding jerseys out of it.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, we have. I kind of like this idea, but I started mulling around in my head. I'm like, okay, I like the concept of that.
Mm-hmm.
How can we perfect that? But I think that's going to be on our back sooner or later here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
And we may have to get one for Jess just because.
Yes, Jess wants to join the LTP riding cycle team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's like, no. Can we do? What if we do like custom yoga pants? So when you go do yoga, you can do
That's fine.
Okay, you do that, right? Or custom yoga
okay.
pant and then custom tank top. Perfect match.
We do have a tank top.
No, but
But the other one that you guys wanted to
put in the logo.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. And so, yeah, so there's Patreon, and feel free to help us out whenever you'd like.
Yep.
That'd be awesome.
Yep.
Go to TeePublic and go to Leaving Today Podcast or Leaving Today.
That one shirt we need to get out.
We will get it out. Top secret. It's coming out soon.
Yep. There's only one other person sitting outside this room that knows about that shirt.
Okay. Do I know?
And you know who you are.
Okay.
He knows who he is.
Oh, he does. Now I know what you're talking about.
Okay. Nobody else does that.
Okay.
Secret.
Okay.
My internet.
Okay, so now we're gonna do things a little bit different, and we're gonna go to our favorite segment, One-on-One with Jess.
All right.
To all who come to this happy place, welcome.
Welcome to 101 with Jess, where we see the magic of Disney through the eyes of a passionate guardian of Walt's legacy.
Well, welcome back
Hey.
to like a real 101 with Jess. Like,
Wow.
What crazy. So, we're going to start off with our This Day in Disney History, which happens to be October 11th. We're going to go to 1955.
Ooh.
Do you guys want to take a guess? Don't you put your This Day in Disney History down. 1955, October 11th. Would you guys like to take a guess at what happened then?
1955. It had to do something with the park, I would be assuming. Mark is cheating.
No, I'm not.
I can see him out of the corner of my eye. He's cheating. Oh, wait, that was me.
So the park's full swing October 11th. Was this let me see. It doesn't have to do with Disneyland.
Yes.
Okay.
Something premiere?
Ooh.
I mean, kind of.
Did Disneyland
No.
premiere a Halloween party? Halloween festival? Or
It
something?
is like a premiere. No.
Okay. Oh, okay.
You get each get a guess. That was Mark's.
Something open? Wait, 1955. No.
That's when they broke ground for Star Wars Galaxy's Edge.
The devil. Mark, don't do that, man. I'm determined to be in a good mood.
Hey.
All right. You're cut off.
I'm cut off. Dude, I'm not even finished with the first one, but I'll cut off.
Okay.
I'll cut myself off. Okay.
Here we go.
Okay.
Ticket books at a cost of $2.50 per adult, $2 per junior, and $1.50 per child are available for the very first time at the new Disneyland theme park. A day at Disneyland contains, that's what the ticket books were called, contains 3A, 2B, and 3C tickets. D tickets won't be added until the following year, and E tickets in 1959.
That's it.
That's all she wrote.
Dude, I'm sure you've seen those books, right? Yeah.
I probably have one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
I
sure.
have a few of them.
Yeah.
You do?
I know you do. I remember, didn't they find them when they were going through some of
My
these?
great-grandma stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they were gone before you were even born. Yeah.
They weren't. Wait, when did they officially go? Do you know?
83?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
see,
before I was
84.
born.
And even I remember going with them.
Absolutely, yeah.
I was a young buck. All right. Are we ready?
Sure.
I
Wait.
wanted to have fun.
Do I need this
Yeah,
right
you
now?
really need
Okay.
that.
I'll be guessing our favorite Pocahontas songs.
We are. But actually, it's not your favorite. I'm gonna start from the beginning of the movie and play each soundtrack, and then you have to tell me the name and what happened during that scene.
Perfect.
Really simple.
Okay.
Okay? Really simple.
Very good podcasting.
Okay. Yeah, I thought so. Okay, let's see if I can get these open.
Dan, don't get mad, okay? We're going to try our best, I swear.
Okay, try your best.
Okay.
Hi, LTP crew. It's Karina.
And Aaron.
Oh,
And we just wanted to thank you for all of the hard work that you put into the show and for having us on a couple shows back. We really got to see the inner workings of everything and how much hard work and research that you put into the show. And we really, really appreciate it. And we absolutely love the show. And we really, really appreciate it. And we absolutely love the show. And we really, really appreciate it. And we absolutely love the show. And we really, really appreciate it. And we absolutely love the show. And we really, really appreciate it. And we absolutely love the show. And we really, really appreciate it. And we absolutely love the show. And we really, really appreciate it. And we absolutely love the show. And we really, really appreciate it. And we absolutely love the show. And we really, really appreciate it. And we absolutely love the show. And we really, really appreciate it. And we absolutely love the show. And we really, really appreciate it. And we absolutely love the show. And we really, really appreciate it. And we absolutely love the show. And we really, really appreciate it. And we absolutely love the show. And we really, really appreciate it. And we absolutely love the show. And we really, really appreciate it. And we absolutely love the show. And we really, really appreciate it. And we absolutely love the show. And we really, really appreciate it. And we absolutely love the show. And we really
And we can't wait to give you guys a Thanksgiving Day trip report.
And
Very
I did
cool.
have one topic that I wanted to bring up to you guys that I don't think you guys have talked about that I thought would be really fun, which is if you were in charge of the park and you had the ability to create one new land, what would it be and what would you include? Talk to you guys soon. LTP for life.
Oh, that was great. Oh, my God. I love that.
Wow.
Who goes?
Well, hold on. Do you want to use it? Do you want to do a topic?
I was thinking we should do it as a full segment. I think that's
Sure.
an excellent idea.
Oh, yeah. No, I like that. Karina, great idea. And I just want to say, hey, you guys, we've met, we've hung out with you guys a couple of times now. You guys are fantastic. I love you guys. We're just honored that good people like you listen to us and actually take the time and actually came over here and hung out with us and a couple times had some drinks and just had a good time. And thank you guys so much. We love you.
Awesome.
And thank you. And yeah, that is a great topic idea. And you just heard it. We're going to do it.
Yeah.
We're going to do it. Thank you for that. Yeah, and I'll echo Udi's sentiment on that, especially after you've hung out with us to see how all the magic is made, and it is not glamorous. Just wire. There are wires in front of me. There's wires all over the place. I had to crawl under the table tonight to plug things in, and the fact that you still like to listen to the show.
Yeah, I know. Now, like, I feel like, you have that thing where you're afraid that if you go somewhere and you find the inner working's going to knock the sheen off of it.
Yes.
And you're going to be like, it's cool, but not that cool. And then we have, maybe... I'm glad you just had a good time. I'll leave it there. I'm glad you guys had a good time, and we enjoyed the hell out of having you guys here. Yeah.
Okay, so just to be clear, we have the power to create one new land, and what would we put in it? Mm-hmm. Is that what it was?
Yeah, and I'll replay the clip again when we're off air.
Okay.
For you guys. Yep.
Consider that done.
My mind is already going.
Yep.
We'll do that probably next month.
Yeah, before the end of the year.
Yes.
Cool beans. All right,
Perfect.
Cool. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, you guys, it's Patrick. Just wanted to come in.
Patrick!
Say hi to you guys. Hello. Let you guys know I miss you guys.
I miss you too, man.
Miss you too, buddy.
Update also, I'm back here working backstage at the resort now, so I don't know if you'll hear any background noise of the vehicles passing by. So I'm working directly behind the construction of Star Wars Land. I just wanted to, again, thank you guys for what you guys do. Show my appreciation and love for the work you guys put in the podcast. Look forward to hearing from you guys soon and getting to meet up with you guys before I leave.
Oh,
I know.
I was hoping he was going to say he wasn't leaving. I'm upset about that.
Oh, man.
I know.
I mean, and it's rough because Patrick is the OG. I mean, he's the OG. There's no other way to put it. So when he goes, it's going to be like,
Yeah. But when he comes to visit, it'll make it even better.
Dude, that is what I'm excited for. Because imagine we can all go and meet and just hang out, and then it'll be crazy.
He doesn't have to work.
Yeah, and then
it'll
we
be
can freaking,
good.
and then he and I can have proper drink session together, and it'll be fun.
Yeah.
It'll be a great time. But no, I'm gonna tell you this. We had that conversation last episode about how certain things are changing, and honestly, he now, because of his interaction with us and everything that he's done for us and everything. I mean, him leaving, that kind of like pulls a piece out of it now for me.
It does,
and
yeah.
so, I mean, I miss the hell out of you, brother. Yeah, and can't wait to see you again.
Yep.
Darn it. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, thank you for that, Patrick. And now I'm upset at you leaving. But you know what? You're doing it with the right reasons. So.
Yeah. We love you.
Yep. Was more?
Hi, LTP crew. This is Seth from San Diego. I wanted to talk about the Max Pass. I had a couple on last week, talked about the Max Pass a little bit on their trip. Well, I used it for my trip, and for me, it's like I almost can't imagine going without it now. Being able to book pass passes from your phone makes it so much easier for me. We had a group of 12 people, and everybody was connected to my phone, and I was able to kind of schedule our day out by booking fast passes. I think the major key to the Max Pass is getting there into the park before it opens, because you can start booking fast passes before the park opens if you're already checked through the turnstiles. So that's one thing I think that makes a big difference. It also helped because, say, the very end of the day, when I went, it was mid-September, and the park was only from 9 a.m. to 8 p.m.
Ugh.
And the last hour, from 7 to 8 p.m., I rode 4 attractions. I rode Cars, Incredicoaster, Toy Story and Guardians all in the last hour.
Yeah.
Just because I had
Impressive.
the Max Passes that I've been
That
using
is very
throughout
impressive.
the
You get
day.
a button
Because
for that
if you
one.
don't get Cars by about noon, you're not going to be able to get a Fast Pass for it. So I got it for the second time of that day at about noon, and it ended up being like the last hour of the day in the park. So it worked out really well. I set it up so that I can go. Usually I go to both parks every day when I go because I have a season pass. So that particular day I started off with DCA, and then by I'd say 11:30 or noon I had done basically all the worthwhile attractions in DCA, and then I went over to Disneyland and I rode there's so much there to ride, but I went on most of my favorites in that same day, and then I went and had dinner at Blue Bayou right after that for the first time, which the food was really, really good. But the one thing that was really cool is when we walked out from dinner, we heard music going. So we walk out to the little bridge above Pirates, and there's Carrie Underwood singing on the Tom Sawyer's Island or whatever it is right there.
Jeez.
And I guess they had some kind of special event. And I wanted to ask Jess, is that kind of a normal thing that a big company will rent the park out and they'll have somebody big like that singing on the island? I also went on the new version of Pirates for the first time since they changed it. And, I mean, I still love the ride, but, I mean, it could definitely... That one scene they took out was definitely one of the best scenes. I wish they wouldn't have messed with it, but, I mean, it is what it is, I guess. Yeah, even my 4-year-old daughter asked, "Hey, what happened to the pretty girl in the red dress?" So I guess I take her on that ride a couple too many times. If she
No such thing. No such thing.
I also had a couple comments about your guys' Galaxy Edge discussion
Uh-oh.
last week.
I'm nervous about this.
For me, it's... I'm a huge fan of Star Wars, and when I go to Cars Land, I'm hoping that they do the same thing with Galaxy's Edge that they do to Cars Land, because Cars Land is awesome, and if they can do that to Star Wars,
they're
I'm
going
all in.
to.
I know it's going to impact the park crowd-wise, but I mean, that's really what they're going for. If they have cool attractions, it's going to be crowded. I mean, I try to go to Disneyland when it's the least crowded as possible, and I think that obviously, as Disneyland, you're going to put things in there to bring people into the park. If they didn't, nobody would go anymore. I mean, they have to keep changing everything. It'd be a bad business model to keep everything exactly the same, because people would get sick of going to the same thing all the time. I mean, I always go for Halloween because it's a little different. I mean, Halloween this year was awesome. The decorations are really cool. Oh, by the way, I remember when I was a little kid and when I went for Christmas that it was way cooler than it is now. I don't know if they just didn't step up on the decorations anymore, but I'm really wishing they put as much effort into Christmas as they do into Halloween, because Christmas is really an epic time to go to the park, and I wish they would just keep Christmas going just like they do Halloween. But anyways, back to Star Wars. I'm really hoping that they do a good job, and I'm sure they will. And honestly, there's going to be lines. There's no way around it. There's going to be lines that are backed up into other parts of the park. Mm-hmm. But when I was just there, you can't really see into Galaxy's Edge. Even if there's a line, you can't really see into it. So, I mean, the people in the park is definitely going to impact, but I don't think it's that big of an impact. I mean, because it's going to be contained in the certain area. I mean, the whole alcohol thing and that one cantina, to me, that's kind of I wouldn't recommend. I didn't think it's a very good idea, but I know what's going to happen. Eventually, it's going to be in every single restaurant in all the parks, even Disneyland. Mm-hmm. I know it already is in Florida, but I'm sure that it will be in the rest of the park, probably within the next couple years. But my whole point in this is, I know Jess is never going to like the idea of Galaxy's Edge, but Mark and Nudie, you guys need to stay strong and at least check it out before you say it's gone too far. But anyways, I love the show, guys. Talk to you later.
Yeah, where to start? Thank you so much for that, Seth. That was a pretty good trip report. Nice. I'll address the Max Pass thing first. I'll be the first to tell you I'm not phone savvy, really. I mean, I do it for my basic stuff. So Udi actually took care of that last time.
Yep.
And like Udi said, we talked about getting it the very first day just to see what is worth it. And Udi, I think, decided that within the first half an hour or so, he said, "Oh, this is pretty cool."
We're doing it. Yeah.
But that's a nice tip. If you get there before the park opens, they have Town Square open for an hour or so.
Yeah.
You can start planning your day out accordingly, and I think that's really good.
Oh, fantastic, yeah.
Real quick though, but the fact that you use Max Pass quite a bit, does it drain your battery much quicker than?
No,
because you had to get the supplement thing.
But that's because I was taking pictures like a madman.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Did you notice that it drains your battery more?
No, it won't. It won't, because I mean, you're interfacing for that one moment.
And
I mean,
that's it.
it's like opening an app and doing anything and then closing your app. It wouldn't do anything extra.
Okay.
So it's not like you're running GPS where you're going to be running if you run GPS constantly, that will drain your battery, but that is like any other app. Yeah.
Okay.
And then to answer your question, I'm not sure how often. I know big corporations will rent the park out, like portions of the park. I'm not sure about the performers themselves, like having somebody go and perform. But I know that time around, it was a large insurance company that rented out the park and had Carrie Underwood perform, and it was for their top earners and their families for the insurance company. And that's what that specific one was.
That was just recently?
Mm-hmm. That was September, I think, like 16th or something like that.
They closed the park early?
8 p.m.
And so from 8 to 10 or whatever they
I'm not sure how late it ran, but yeah, the park closed at 8, so probably they were probably welcome to join, go into the park early. They probably had like wristbands or something. I'm not sure though. But usually it's just like a certain portion of the park. But if they close the whole park down, I mean, this was probably a really big insurance company.
So if I'm a regular guest, I have to leave at 8?
Mm-hmm. But I mean, you've known since you planned your trip that you saw that it was 8 o'clock. That's when the park closed. So,
all right.
Yeah.
Well, that'd be interesting. I don't know. That'd be kind of cool to watch that.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's Carrie Underwood. She's super pregnant right now, too, so that would have been fun.
Is she?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, then I will address the Galaxy's Edge. The biggest thing, and I agree with you. I mean, we've talked about it before that, the park is always going to change. And I think the biggest gripe that we're having is the fact that you can't lose your soul for change. And really, without
I have no soul.
Well, I've known you long enough, and I can agree with that. But anyway, but that is the biggest thing. I mean, a lot of people are fine with change. I am, for the most part, okay with it. Everyone has a bit of trepidation, but that's not kind of what we're afraid of. What we're afraid of and what we're kind of talking about, and we had this basically that moment of, when you change, you need to change, but there are certain things that should be held sacred, no matter what. And it's not necessarily that you're going to die on the vine, but it's more about having homage and understanding why you were there in the first place. So I get your point. We're I think that like I was saying in our previous episode, I'm not all the way off. I'm practically off, and it has more to do with how it's impacting. Yeah, you're right. There's going to be lines. There's going to be all those things. And I'll just tell you this quick little story. Today, talking to somebody who's not a big goer of the park at all, I mentioned that our last episode was a little bit more heavy. And he goes, well, what were you been talking about? And I kind of told him about, gave him a short synopsis of what the whole episode was about. And he kind of went, well, you can't do that. I mean, I didn't even finish saying, he's like, you're going to turn into a human freaking parking lot. You can't do that. And he goes to the park enough, but not, he's the type of guy who goes to the park, and every time he goes, he remembers going as a kid, and he holds that kind of sacred, I guess, if you want to put it. So he's kind of like, that sounds dumb to me. But anyway, again, that's the whole point. I know they're going to do a fantastic job. I know when you walk in there, you're going to be over at Black Spire. I have no doubt in my mind that the job they're going to do in that land is going to be phenomenal. We've said it before. The bar is incredibly high with not only what they did over at Avatar, over on the East Coast, but now, and then what they did with Cars Land over here. The bar is astronaut, and now with all the hubbub over it, you're telling me that they are even gonna try to lowball anything? They're not. So is it gonna look fantastic? Is it gonna be, immersive? Mark's favorite word. Absolutely, we know it's gonna be like that. The point is that we're just afraid of how much are you going to sacrifice for the sake of change, and how far is too far. And that was kind of the whole point. But and they're, to me, again, I'll just reiterate it real quick. They're teetering. They're teetering where they go too far.
Yeah.
So thank you, Seth.
Yeah.
Thank you
so much.
Thank you for that, and thanks, and thank you everybody for so far who's sending. Do we have more?
Oh God, yeah.
We do.
Okay. Well, hey, all
just
right.
acting like this is nothing like a.
Off we go. Okay.
Okay.
And away we go.
Hello, LTP crew. This is Eric, longtime listener, first-time caller. I just want to say thank you guys for the awesome podcast. I found you guys on Google Play about 2 years ago while listening to the All Aboard podcast that you guys were guests on. And you guys have been my sole Disney podcast ever since.
Oh, wow.
I grew up in the city of Orange, about 3 miles from Disneyland, and used to watch the fireworks from my front yard.
Oh, wow.
Now, my family and I didn't get to go to Disneyland as often as today's AP holders do. But when we did, some of my favorite memories are running all over Tom Sawyer's Island with the real metal and wood pirate guns that we purchased from Pieces of 8 gift shop back when Disneyland used to sell toy guns.
Yeah.
My brothers and I would hide out in the caves and run all over Fort Wilderness back when it used to be open to guests. It was just an awesome time to be in the park. I'm about the same age as Mark and Udi, so I remember the park the same way they do growing up. When I first found your podcast, I was in school to be a registered nurse, and you guys helped me break up my hour-and-a-half commute to school while I caught up on all the back episodes I had missed. Now that I'm an RN, I listen to you guys on my hour-long commute to work in the Fresno area every other week, and I appreciate all the guests and history, the witty banter, and the opinions that I typically agree with. I like that you guys aren't fanboys, but you express your feelings whether you agree with the happenings in the park or not. I do, however, happen to be one of those stroller dads pushing a double wide with my 5 kids around the park because, like me, I want them to grow up with the joy the park brings, as well as it helps me to connect with my inner child when I see the smile on their faces. Oh, and by the way, sorry, Jim Corcus, but I don't think you're my type. My wife is a redhead, and I think I'll stick with her. # save the redhead. Keep up the good work, guys. Hope to hear many more years of great podcasts. Can we do this again?
So before you guys say anything, I responded to his email, and I told him, first off, I said, you have the perfect podcast voice.
Yeah.
The way he storytelling and just the way that he was talking, like I listened to it and I listened to it again, and I was like, you have the perfect podcast voice. And then I told him, I said, I love you all, but I told him, I said, that so far, because I had received certain audios, I said, this was by far my favorite. I just felt like I was listening to somebody on our show, like, or somebody like on a Disney, like historical DVD, like talking and telling a story about something, and it just really blew me away. And then I loved his ending when he said, "Can we do this again?" I was like, "Oh my God, I love it." But yeah, this is Eric, and I was blown away. And he said, "Thank you for the opportunity to tell you all how much I enjoy this podcast." He said, "I'm sure I'm forgetting to mention something." And I just, that one, I think, oh God, he tugged at my heartstrings.
Well, I've got goosebumps, to be honest with you.
I figured you would.
Seriously, that's why I'm looking at my arms, because I've got these bumps on my arms and chills. And I thank you so much for that, Eric. I can't tell you how much it means to me personally that you take time to listen to the show that we put together every 2 weeks and stuff, and that it impacts your life. I don't have words for that kind of stuff, except that I am really grateful and appreciative of everyone that listens. And when you were talking about Fort Wilderness and Tom Sawyer's on, Udi and I kind of exchanged a look because
I'm getting teary-eyed, man. Oh my God.
I know exactly those guns you're talking about. I don't have brothers, but I have a sister who's 1.5 years older than me, and her and I would go and just get dirty on that island. And she never liked the guns. I did like the gun, and I remember taking that thing home, and I wish they still had them. I know exactly what it looked like, and I remember how it felt in my hand. And when Udi and I were there in July, we walked around Tom Sawyer's Island. That was a great time, a great time. And we walked around Fort Wilderness, and we're like, we want to go in there. So I can share your sentiments on that as well. And I'm not going to give you too hard of a time for being that stroller dad. I was that dad as well, but never a 2 stroller. It was just a single.
He has 5 kids.
He's got... Okay. But you're doing a great job bringing your kids up in Disneyland and passing down the knowledge and stuff. And we will keep doing this. We had no plans of not doing it, but we're going to keep doing it anyways.
Oh, man.
Ooh, do you want to say something?
I don't even know. Jess, thank you for doing. Was this on Instagram or whatever?
Instagram and Facebook.
Okay. Thank you for doing this, because this is after the last episode that we had, and we were doing. I mean, we talked about how kind of dark it was, and this is perfect. I mean, this is a great reminder that why we get together and do this, and the fact that we're affecting. I mean, halfway through the audio, I just put my head down. I put my hand in my head, because I'm sitting here going, I'm blown away. I mean, and I'm constantly blown away by you guys, and I don't even know what to say. Like, thank you. I mean, I know you're thinking this, but no, thank you. I mean, thank you for your support. Thank you for listening. Thank you for actually taking the time. I mean, that we could help you as you're going through. And an RN, you're doing a great job. I mean, anyone who's an RN, I know a few of them, and your job is difficult. And I my hat's off to you for doing what you do and helping people. And I'm glad that we can do, a small little thing for you. And thank you for your audio, and thank you for continuing listening. And we will continue to be here for as long as you guys will have us.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. That one got to me. They're all amazing, but that one got me. All right, moving on.
Hello, LDP family. This is Dan from Colorado.
Dan!
I don't really have a whole lot to say today, except I do have 93 days until I'm back in the magical gates of Disneyland.
Yep.
I do have one question for you guys, though. What is your favorite go-to collectible or souvenir from Disneyland? My must-have is a coffee cup and a hat. I have to have both of them. I have so many cups and mugs from the parks that I've had to set aside one whole kitchen cabinet just for the mugs. My wife thinks I'm a little obsessive with these, but it's my go-to souvenir. I have to have it. That's pretty much all that I have. I do hope everyone listening to this podcast knows how great the three of you are. I appreciate everything that you guys do. I look forward to every episode. It's amazing how much you guys can make me laugh. I sometimes scream at my radio, when Mark and Hury, sorry, my voice is still kind of bad, don't get the questions right on the 101 with Jess, but, that's something that I look forward to. Hopefully one day we can all meet up with the park. And to my LTP family, thanks for everything again that you do, and have a great and amazing day. Thanks. Bye.
I love Dan.
Dan, gosh.
I love Dan.
Thank you.
He's like OG number 2.
He is.
And he really is. He's like OG number 2. I mean, Patrick is like the OG, but Dan, you're right there, buddy. You're right there. You're OG number 2. If we have to, we'll number you. Okay, officially we're declaring Dan is OG number 2. Yeah, I like it.
Perfect.
Yeah,
for sure.
Dude. Okay, so I want to answer the question. So I'll answer mine real quick. So now it's mine. I didn't really have one growing up. Honestly, it was more about going and as a kid, it wasn't about the souvenir. Obviously, a park map was always cool to have. An occasional book was great to have. I wish I could find it. I know it's gone. Is my Pirates of the Caribbean book that I remember reading over and over again. But the thing now that has been morphing into is 2 things right now. One is getting a mug, the $37 mugs. From Trader Sam's. I have now 2.
You've got 2, I think.
I've got 2.
Yeah, I have 2. And starting to morph into either a jacket or a shirt, a T-shirt of some kind. So those are the ones I'm starting to kind of morph into, or a hat. One of those things, some kind of apparel item, kind of commemorate. Like, I mean, our last trip, I walked away like a mad dog. I mean, I got...
You did.
3 T-shirts, 4 T-shirts. I got 3 for me, I think. 1 for my brother. I mean, which I saw. Dang it. He was just at my house, and I forgot to give it to him. Son of a gun. Sorry, I just totally...
Who, Dan was there?
No, my brother.
His brother.
Oh, okay.
I freaking got a sweet Millennium Falcon one for him, and he was just at my house on Saturday, I mean, rather. Oh, man. Anyway, so that's what it's been morphing into. It's been morphing into more something like that, and I'm trying to make it so I can commemorate, like, oh, this trip I did that. This trip I did. And I think it's more now that I'm older and more appreciative, and now I've been going with Jess and Mark, and so that it's adding like a different layer. Since they're like my Disney family, and so now growing up I had my family. Now going with him, it's going to become my Disney family. So it means a little bit more now. As before, I kind of just went with whoever, and it was kind of like whatever. You know, it was another day in the park, which is always fantastic, but it wasn't anything to be super memorable. Now it feels like when we go, we're actually really creating memories, and we're sharing, and I mean, because we're sharing it with you guys too. So now when I go, it's more about sharing it with my direct family here with Mark and Jess, but then spreading out and knowing that you guys are going to hear about it, and we're going to include all of you guys. So, yeah, that's what I'm doing right now. And thank you, Dan, OG number 2.
OG number 2.
I just sent him a picture
Okay.
of you guys. I said the boys answering your question.
Oh, nice.
What about you, Mark? What do you have to... Is it as a must-have?
Yeah, so...
And Gibson Girl doesn't count.
Gibson Girl doesn't count. Well, again, as I said before, as a kid, the only thing I really wanted was those fun maps, those giant maps, which I still have.
Yep.
And I did have the gun, and it was the rubber band gun. This is what I'm thinking. So he's talking about, right? Yeah. Okay. So that I definitely had that, and
That was Eric.
Yeah, Eric mentioned that. So that was the 2 things that I had. But now, as an adult, things are a little bit different. I do like the coffee mugs. I went there last time, and I got 2 from Starbucks, but I gave one to Ariel and one to Annika. Okay. Because one was the New Orleans Square one, and one was the Adventureland version. But I do have the main Disneyland one. And I have the very cool Adventureland mug, which they don't have anymore. But somehow I think Joey has one, and I don't know where he got his, but I got mine in Adventureland because I have not seen that one.
I have an Adventureland, right?
No, I have that really thick, nice one from Adventureland. I don't have it there anymore. I'll show you a picture.
Yeah, show me a picture.
And that's really all I collect now. I don't need any T-shirts. I've got most of them that I like. That being said, if they did Frontierland, I have a Frontierland T-shirt. If they did like a Frontierland mug or some Frontierland or Adventureland specific things, I would probably be interested in looking at that. Or Jungle Cruise or Matterhorn specific stuff, I would be very interested in seeing what those were, and I'd probably buy that. But now, the must-haves are just, honestly, going with my daughters to see what they like and end up buying their stuff for them. Just because it's actually just, it's fun for me just to see them get all excited about things that they like. And they like ears, and they like the tie-dye shirts that they have, a couple of those, and the jerseys, which we'll get talked about in the news. So that's what I collect. I don't do pins or anything like that.
So I'll answer for 13 because I know what she gets.
Right.
Pins. That's her. She's got to always bring home new pins. And me, I love coffee cups. Love having coffee cups. Even though I don't drink coffee, I just love collecting them. So that would be mine.
That would be yours?
Yep. Yeah. So, all right. Well, thank you, Dan.
Yeah, thank you, Dan.
OG number 2. I love Dan. Okay. All right. Moving on.
I'm trying to find the mug.
Hi, guys. This is Jose.
Jose.
Guess where I'm calling from? Guess where
Disney?
I'm recording from?
Disney.
No, it's not from the middle of Fantasyland.
I thought you
That's
answered
the last time. I'm just speaking from my house this time. Well,
trickster.
It's a great time to let you guys know that you've been doing great. I've been listening to you guys for over a year and a half now, and I think the show gets better and better with the time.
What?
Especially the last episodes, and I want to be specific in the last one. I think it was really what's the word? I'd like to say heavy.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
For the content and the opinion, and I totally agree with your comments.
Oh.
And I don't know if it's because I've been changing my mind since I began listening to you, or
yes,
getting to know more stuff about Disneyland, or I would say becoming more of a purist for Disneyland. But I would really like to know if you guys
That's a good
have
question.
you guys changed your vision or your point of view of Disneyland? That's a question I would like for you to answer. Has your way of seeing Disneyland changed from the first episode to now?
That's a great question.
It'll be interesting to know what the answer is. So, besides that, congratulations for the show. You guys do a great team, the three of you. And, well, as I said before, I would really like to be with you guys in the museum. But, well, distances, bills to pay, and, you know. You guys have a great fun. Say hi to Jay for me, and see you next time.
Thank you, Jose.
Thank you. I love you too, Jose.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Hold on. There's a drag race outside or something. We don't have the museum stuff set up yet, and I just apologize in advance. I prematurely sent that out without getting all the details done. We will have a date for you because we are going to go, and we're going to get Michael Bowling involved in that. And we'll just, okay.
You know, Jose, I know what I want to say. I'm just trying to formulate it here. You know, my vision growing up, I think, of the park has changed, but it has more to do with me growing up. You know, as a kid, you're going to look at things through a child's eyes, and as you grow up and mature, like you have when you have a kid now, a child, and I know I've never had that, but you know, your view of the world will change as your life changes. So I want to say it's a yes and no for me. One level, it hasn't changed because as a child, I had a love for the park. So that part of it hasn't changed. Now I am a little bit more pragmatic, I want to say, but I think the one thing with the park, which is unique to one of the unique things of the park and why we defend it, is because it will make us remember how it is to be a kid and remember the first times walking in and remember the awe and the majesty and the beauty and the magic of the entire area. And I think as you grow up, that is the beauty of it, is that it is direct line into that. No matter what you do, you can be, and I've said it before, I challenge you to walk into that park in a bad mood. You know, go for it. You're angry at whoever. Walk in. By the time you hit the hub, gone. You're gonna be having the worst years of your life. The time you hit the hub, if not before, gone. And why? Because you've had that connection. I've had that connection. So no, it has changed, but overall, the core of what my feelings are for the park has not changed. And I want to say this, that I want to congratulate you on your podcast. I can't remember the name. Jess, do you have it handy?
I don't have it handy.
I did listen to part of it, and I actually did understand because I do understand Spanish. And you guys, it was pretty good. You guys were talking about, you know, your love of Disney and how it came up and being a kid and different trips that you went to, and growing up and going with family. And I was like, oh, I know how this is because guess what? That's me. That was me. So you keep on going. I hope you. I haven't heard another one, but I hope you keep on going with that. Keep that up, and then I'm very humbled at the fact that we in some way played a part in you being motivated to do that. So congratulations to you.
Yes, yeah, and thank you so much for the audio. Mark, did you want to answer his question?
Are you going to answer it too?
I'll answer.
Okay. So the question is, has my view of the park changed since episode 1, right? In the last 3 years? Well, I think first and foremost, I love the park, and that's why we started doing this. So no matter what I say, no matter how much I complain about it, I'm always going to end up loving it, and because it means a lot to me. So the question is, how have I changed? I think I've become more protective of it, and I'm definitely more aware of all the details about everything. I'm definitely paying attention to behind the scenes, who's running the park. I mean, prior to the show, I didn't care who was running the park. I had no idea who the president was of the park. I had no idea who any of those people were. Now I'm very interested in who these people are and what their motives are. And I'm not an anti-change person as long as change is for the right reasons. And I said the jury's still out with Star Wars Land and its impact on the park. And like as Hury mentioned, there's no doubt it's going to be done fantastic, and like phenomenal. But what are we losing here? But I'm not going to go off on that tangent today. So to answer your question, Jose, is that I've just become a lot more aware of the park, and a lot more aware of the details, and a lot more guarded of things that I thought were very important to me then. Like pirates becoming fast pass, which it isn't anymore. I didn't like that. I don't like benches being moved, and so I think I'm just more aware of it. But since the start of the show, I've gone many, many times with my daughters, and I look at them and how they view the park, and how they view the park is much more different than how I do it. And I tend to look at it through their eyes. And I think there's something that is due. And, for example, this Pixar party, I was dead set against it. It was like, no way would I ever have gone to that. But when I mentioned it to the girls, they were like, oh, yeah, that sounds like fun. And I go, oh, okay, well, they are at this certain age where they have different experiences and different views, and that's wonderful. And I just kind of had to take myself down a few notches and take a breath. I still wouldn't have gone because after we went to it, I was not impressed. Not for $300. Anyways, right. Yeah. So Jose, hopefully I answered that question for you. Is I've just become a lot more guarded and not more aware of everything. Yeah.
My opinion has definitely changed. For the park. I mean, and I think that's been pretty blatant by the past couple episodes that we've done with my attitude towards it and the lack thereof of things I have to say.
Oh.
But my opinion is always changing. From when you're younger, like you guys mentioned, you're looking at it through, a child's eyes, and as you start to grow up and you start to, see things differently. And my view really changed when I started working there for the better. Like it made it, more incredible and whatnot. And then leaving, it was fine. But it's definitely gone downhill now. I will not be renewing my pass, and I can't say how often I will be going after my pass is up. I don't really have a desire anymore, which is the unfortunate thing. And it has a lot to do with the crowds. It's just getting too crowded, and we're going to talk about that in a little while. But it's just I don't feel the magic there anymore, which is the unfortunate thing. And if it's the magic, I can say I don't feel Walt there anymore. Yep. And that's kind of where it kind of hits home and hurts for me. And so it's like I don't even want to be there because it's, I don't know. But, I mean, I don't want to let you guys down. This is not a heavy episode. So, go Galaxy's Edge.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to...
No, not heavy. No.
And I'm not going to go heavy. All I'm going to say is that I'm going to... Even with... I know your dislike of Galaxy's Edge and what it's going to do. And now I'm with you on that. I'm going to have this quiet hope, and this is where I'm going to go positive with it. What I have is quiet hope, and I completely 1,000% understand where you're at, Jess. And you've been there before. You and I have had a conversation before where you've been here before.
Oh, yeah. And I get out of it.
And you do. So what I'm hoping for, and honestly, this is my maybe I'm being overly optimistic with it, but what I'm really hoping for is that Galaxy's Edge is going to open. It's going to be the nightmare that I think it's going to happen. But what I'm really hoping for, and a quiet little hope in the corner of my mind, is that it'll come down to a spot where we can go like, okay, We can now learn how to adapt with whatever's going to happen over there. And if we need to, and I said it like a few episodes ago, that we will divide it out, and that's going to be important. Then people like Jess can be like, Galaxy's Edge, I know I'm going to run into crowds for it, but as a whole, I can dismiss it and cut it out if I want to.
Right.
I'm hoping, and I'm really, really hoping with everything in me that is what's going to happen, and then that way people will fight with the crowds, but we won't have to deal with that kind of encroaching anymore. So that is my quiet hope, that give us 2-3 years, that'll kind of mellow, and then we'll be like at a spot like, okay, now we can adapt, move forward, and then still find the magic that is still there, even though now it just seems like it's getting piled up with a bunch of construction.
Right.
But anyway,
Yeah. So, yes. Well, thank you again, Jose.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
We have more?
We do.
All right. How many is
What's
that?
up, LTP crew? This is your good friend
I
Joey
don't know
from the
this guy.
Disney Universe podcast.
I don't know this guy.
And I'm glad to participate in this episode's 101 with Jess. Hey, I just want to say great job on the last couple episodes. I know some of them, some people would call rants or downers, but I mean, I thought they were really great shows and just very interesting. Your guys' takes were great and right on, and I couldn't agree more with some of those topics. Even Galaxy's Edge, we've talked plenty of that over the last year and stuff. So, but yeah, things are just getting crazy. But you guys are covering everything just really, it just seems real without like really ranting or complaining, or you guys are just giving your heartfelt opinions, and that's great. And I think that's why everybody really enjoys your shows and everything. So I just want to say continue the great work. I can't wait to hear some of the upcoming holiday foods. I know Mark posted something about just the crowds at Disneyland recently, and I was there the week before.
It was your fault, Joey.
Of the pictures that you shared, and it was just as bad, and it wasn't even a Halloween party night either night I was there. And the funny thing is, the worst day seemed like Monday. And it was, which was October the 1st, and all I could think of is everybody's pass payments cleared, so they were headed to the parks, I guess. But I actually left the parks around 5 because I had to fly out, and the line for security towards the harbor side was just insane. It was worse than what I saw in the summertime. So, these crowds are just getting nuts, and I have no idea what's going on, but. But once again, like I said before, you guys continue the awesome work. I love that I could be a listener, but just over the last year, just being your friends with you guys, and that's just awesome. And I cannot wait to conquer MouseCon with you guys next month. So that should be a blast, and I will talk to you guys soon. Hopefully, we'll have another Disney trivia night where we can.
That was fun.
Win this one.
We need
if
that
they
now.
actually
We
have
can
decent
win.
questions.
Right.
Those ones kind of sucked, but that night was awesome. Anyways, once again, keep up the great work, and talk to you guys later.
Thank you, Joey. Joey, in your jerk, Joey, I just saw you on Friday, and you didn't mention that you said anything. Were you under orders?
He just sent that in tonight.
Okay.
Everybody knew that tonight was the deadline.
Because I literally saw him on Saturday, and I'm like, and he didn't say anything. Okay. Well, thank you, Joey. And I'll tell you what, one of the cool things, and I'll reiterate, and I keep on saying it, one of the great things about this show and doing this show is the people we've met. And Joey, honestly, has hangs out with me more than he hangs out with you guys. I mean, he's part of my other show now. Because of this show, I met Joey, who's now another part of my show, and he's becoming a bigger part of that show. He's actually going to start doing the production side of it. For that show. Thank you a million times for doing that, Joey. If I haven't said it enough, thank you again. But and just great people. And Joey is a perfect example of that. Just a guy who loves a park like us and just a great attitude about everything. And I'll tell you what, man, thank you. Thank you for everything, buddy. I mean, I can't even tell you how grateful I am that we've met and we've become friends, and I'm super grateful that you decided to stick around, even seeing all our crazy shenanigans and sitting in there and having many discussions that are not Disney related, and just still going, man, these guys are not crazy. These guys are crazy. But yeah, buddy, it's great, and thank you.
Yeah, Joey is very good people.
Yeah, he's good peeps, man. Good
Yeah,
peeps.
I'm very happy to call you a friend.
Yeah, I think he's bucking for OG number 3.
Is he?
I think
I don't know. I
mean,
think Eric might be OG number 3.
Maybe we'll get him 4. Then.
You know, but Joey's a lot more optimistic than I am.
He is. He has that. He has that view of it. He's gonna be more optimistic.
Yeah, and I just, for me, the sky is always falling, and and for him, it's not. It's it's a nice blue sky.
By the way, I just want to say he was wearing the shirt, which is freaking perfect. It's the Sharks and a Lilo and Stitch matchup. He had
he's a hockey guy too, huh?
Yeah, I know. We're planning on going to the Star Wars night in November for the Sharks, and that should be a fun night if I don't wind up going to work on a movie set. But anyway, we won't go there.
Are you working on Star Wars Episode 9?
No.
Oh, okay.
Well, no, I actually wouldn't mind because in JJ I trust. He didn't let me down with Force Awakens. It's not Ryan Johnson. Thank you, God. Moving on.
Okay. Yeah, Joey, thank you so much for that, and keep up the good work on your end too.
Yeah, absolutely, dude.
He's like all over the place. I get a little envious of him. I know. Tell you the truth. He's always at the parks and doing stuff.
He's a traveling man.
I think he just recorded episode 37. If you guys,
yes, he did.
If you guys don't know the Disney Universe podcast, that is Joey's podcast, and they over on his show he goes a little bit more expansive. He goes, they will do like more pop culture-y, Disney related, but pop culture. Into pop, and his co-host, a very cool guy from Canadian Wishes. He was more from Canada. And yeah, cool. That's a great show too. If you guys haven't heard it, go check it out over there.
Okay.
Yeah, Joey's a great guy. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Okay, I'm done.
You're done.
Oh, well, thank you so much for.
I'm sorry, you only got like 8.
We need 9 next time.
Okay, sorry.
Awesome job, everyone. Thank you so much for listening.
Thank you guys.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for helping me with that. I do appreciate it. So I knew that they would like it, and thought it would make for a very light, fun episode.
Much better.
Yes, much better. More doom and gloom.
I'm laughing right now. Yeah, it's much better.
Me too, smiling. So we don't really have a feature presentation tonight. So it's more like the news we're going to talk about because a lot of stuff has happened.
And now for our feature presentation.
Tonight's news and feature presentation are brought to you by Expedition Roasters Coffee, where they encourage you to brew your happy place.
So if you're like me and you're running out of the coffee and you're not sure which one to get, I highly suggest you get their sample pack, which has 2 of my personal favorites, the Route 66 Tire Fix and Fortune and Glory. So if you're not sure, try that out.
And make sure when you are at the checkout to enter the LTP20 code for 20% off your very first purchase.
That's Expedition Roasters Coffee, where they encourage you to brew your happy place. All right, so let's get into the news. I'm going to talk about this stuff. Okay, the first item we're going to talk about is Paint the Night is ending. It's time for
Womp, womp, womp. Sorry.
Oh. It's time for the last elements of Pixar Fest to take a final bow.
Bye-bye.
And Disney announced last week the Paint the Night Parade and Pixar Play Parade will both end in November before the start of the holidays at the Disneyland Resort promotion. At Disneyland, the final performance of the Pixar Play Parade is Sunday, November 4th. And DCA bids farewell to Paint the Night Parade on Wednesday, November 7th. The holiday season officially kicks off on Friday, November 9th, with the first scheduled performance of A Christmas Fantasy Parade at 3:30 at Disneyland. The first performance of Believe in Holiday Magic Fireworks is at 9:30. So that's something to look forward to. Any of these parades exciting to you, Jess?
Not at all.
Okay.
Really?
No.
The parade?
I don't like the Christmas parade.
Oh.
Is it a new one or an old one? You know me with parades.
It's the same one. It'll always be the same parade.
Okay.
Yeah. They'll never change it.
Oh, yeah.
Really? Never say never. Never say never.
Never.
So the holiday season starts in November. And actually, Seth, real quick, you had mentioned that you used to like the Christmas season at Disneyland, but now you don't. Can you chime in or let us know what changed? Because I remember liking it, and when the snow would come at the fireworks at the end. Right. And
well, that's cool.
Do they still do that?
Not at the fireworks. They do it when they light with the castle at night with that's a separate thing. When they make they snowflakes and stuff on the castle light up.
Okay.
It's a whole separate thing, and it's beautiful.
Well,
that's my favorite part.
Okay.
I cry every time.
Well, I can remember, and this is just my personal thing, is I always felt like Main Street, it was more Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like it's been like watered down a bit. I just remember it like when you walked down during Christmas time, it was like no doubt. Like it felt like you had garland everywhere
and the gas lamps and stuff,
ornaments and gas lamp and Christmas trees and everything everywhere was like boom 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 Christmas. Now it feels like it's like been watered down, tapered down a little bit. Like it's there, it's celebrated, but not as like massively as I remember growing up.
Yeah.
Why? I have my own thoughts as to why. It has very little to do with money. It has more to do with another thing.
And we'll leave it at that.
It's called PC.
We'll
but
leave it at
and we'll leave it there. But that's my personal opinion. I could be way off. But yeah, in my opinion, yeah, it's been watered down and kind of like not minimized, but definitely lowered. Like the standard of like Christmas is now like, hey, Christmas, instead of like Christmas in your face.
It's probably more like the holiday season or something, right?
Well, no, happy holidays.
Yes. Okay. I know where you're going with that.
Yeah.
So, Seth, let us know what your thoughts were on that, because I'd like to hear what you were thinking with that. Okay, in the merchandise talk, we don't ever talk about merchandise, but I thought this was interesting. New Spirit jerseys have been announced at the
I want it.
Wait, which one? Okay,
hold
I'll
on.
let her finish, and then
So,
we'll go into that discussion.
These Spirit jerseys, I think they're all the rage. Annika has one, and she's like, and every time we go, she has like an odd color. People always ask her for it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, where did you get it? And we got it in downtown Disney, I think. But I didn't know these were a thing, but she has one, and I think 13 has one, black or something, right? A Spirit jersey?
She has it's like a army green.
Yeah, but she has one.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, but Annika's is like a light teal, and people always stop her and ask her. So now, in an interesting twist, now they are merchandising these jerseys after attractions.
I'm so excited.
Or lands.
Mm-hmm.
So we have the Haunted Mansion version. Mine colors in black and white, so I don't know what color that is.
Okay, the Haunted Mansion will be that kind of bluish purple, right?
Yeah, I like the mansion color.
Yeah,
I would.
Yeah.
I mean, say right. I mean,
Yeah. And
I don't even have that email.
Or you don't? Okay, well, I'll go. Okay, so it's going to be kind of like if you would look at a wallpaper, and it is a bluish color. Would you say that's blue?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's purple, like to match the
purple blue
wallpaper.
Okay, wallpaper, and it will have that pattern halfway through down the chest. On the
I don't have the pattern on mine.
Yeah, because it's all black.
Yeah, it's all black.
Okay.
And then it says haunted the Haunted Mansion in big old letters and in the font that I like across the shoulders, and then on the front left corner. It has Ghost Host on it, which I can't quite make out what the logo is. Parts of this jersey I like, and parts of it I hate.
Yes, yes.
So what do you guys like and hate about it?
So So actually, it's more of a critique. So I don't hate it.
I'm
The Haunted
opening it up,
Mansion.
too.
The Haunted Mansion. I love that
love that.
fonting. It's too big. If it was smaller, I would wear that.
Yeah, but you see, the Disneyland Spirit jerseys have Disneyland, and they're
big,
and they're extended over the shoulders.
I know that.
Okay,
and that's my only gripe. I mean, the color's fine. I love the pattern. It's very mansion, and I love it. And like I said, I love that font. I love how the Haunted Mansion is the font of it. It's freaking fantastic. It's just too big for me, for my taste. I know people are going to...
Can I ask a question that may seem stupid?
Okay.
There are no stupid questions, only stupid people.
Are these unisex, you think?
Yes, they are.
Okay, all right.
I'm going to go on record right now saying that out of all these new releases, this is my favorite.
Would you rock that?
I would rock it in its current state.
Jess,
I would.
Would you rock that shirt? Jersey?
Yeah, I would rock the other one more.
Okay,
Wait,
but
which
so
one? Okay,
hold on, we
we'll
haven't got there yet.
We'll get there.
There's four, and I'll just say that I love the idea of them incorporating lands and attractions.
Agreed.
And they need to do more of that.
Yep.
Because they have so many cool IP opportunities for this stuff.
Yep.
Okay, next item.
Okay, so the next one is going to be modeled after, and this is probably be Joey's one. Joey's the Tiki Room. Okay.
You're going out of order.
Am I? No, that's what I have next.
Keep scrolling. Oh no, I'm not even talking. Okay, so you guys don't even see the one that I'm talking about.
What are you looking
is
at?
there another one?
There's a Haunted Mansion one that says "Foolish Mortals" on the back.
Wait, what?
Let me see.
Do you have that one?
Yeah, it's this one.
Is that at the Disney store?
I don't know.
Or is that an Etsy thing?
No. It's a spirit tee.
Okay.
Right?
It says so. I'm not sure if this is official Disney though. Dude, that is pretty cool.
Yeah, that one. Show Mark. I like that one.
So let me describe it real quick. It has that same and more. It actually looks more like a sweatshirt to me. It has a logo on the front left corner, and
It's like the wallpaper.
It is the wallpaper, basically the pattern that's on there, and on the back of it, in big letters, it says "Foolish Mortal," which I would rock this in a different color though.
Yeah, I like that one a lot.
Yep, I like that one, but I have a feeling that is not official Disney. I could be wrong.
I'll do more
Yeah.
research.
Okay. If you guys see that one and you guys know, let us know. I don't think that is official Disney, but I do like that one. Now, if given a choice, different color, then I would rock that one over this one.
Okay.
Okay. So moving on, then we're going to move on to the next one, which again is Tiki Room. This one's going to be green. And this one it's just too much for me.
It's way too much.
It's way too much. So again, the upper portion is going to be solid green. In the left corner, it has actually, is that Jose? That is Jose, isn't it?
Yes.
So that is Jose in his perch, and then below that would be the tiki pattern with a bunch of the different birds.
Wait a minute, not our listener Jose.
No.
Oh, okay.
Unfortunately not.
I would wear that shirt.
Yeah, you would, and then on the back of it, and this is what I don't like, is that huge Disneyland all the way.
Oh,
past
see,
the
I like
shoulders.
that.
Yeah.
I like the font.
I like it.
The font is great, and I'm not going to argue against any of the fonts on any of these. It's just the size of it. So, Jess, would you rock that one low?
No, it's too much green.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, that looks. Jess, okay, am I wrong? But does it look like a dress?
They have her in very large sizes.
Yeah,
They have her in a very.
Look,
Yeah, no, it's big.
when you said Joey would rock that, Joey would not wear that thing.
No, I think he would be leaning towards wearing it.
The Tiki Room one
Yeah,
out of
'cause
all of them.
But look, isn't it? It looks like a dress she's
No,
wearing.
I know, but
okay,
okay.
you're right. You're right, Jess. You're totally right.
But
I'm not good at these things.
they've oversized her or oversized it
They
because you have
have.
to be able to see it.
They
gotcha.
have, yeah.
So I mean, she could be 4 sizes smaller than that, and
She's
she'd be fine.
actually, if I had to judge it, she is wearing two sizes too big.
Okay.
And honestly, it has everything with the shoulder placement. But anyway.
Sure.
I would not wear this one. I wouldn't fault people for wearing it because it is a shout out to the Tiki Room, Walt Disney's Enchanted Tiki Room.
There you go.
Thank you. I knew Mark was giving me the look like you better say it right.
You have to.
But
And
anyway,
this one is spirited.
this one would fully encapsulate and engross the Spirit jersey idea.
Yes.
The next one I would not wear, and
I would.
and of course you would. And why wouldn't I wear it, Jess?
Well, I wouldn't. One, I
Okay.
wouldn't because it's white.
Well, okay.
My thing is I really like the back of this one. I know you don't.
Well, the back is the part I do like.
Yeah.
The font of it, because it's blank and it's pretty. It's a big white, but the front is
It's a
where
small world.
It's a small world. So I'm gonna try to paint the picture for you guys. It has
Paint the night, Udi. Just paint the
It has
night.
the Disneyland and kind of the old school original font with the same coloring, kind of like our Leaving Today podcast, our marquee shirt. Kind of that idea with it. But then on the front of it, it has in very colorful teals, greens, yellow, red. Small World, the facade of it, and then it says goodbye.
It's cute.
Yeah, it is cute, but not my cup of tea. And it has goodbye on the upper corner again. Yeah, I wouldn't wear it. Mark would rock it like from here to tomorrow, wouldn't you?
Oh, you know I would.
Mark,
I would march up and down Harbor Boulevard,
dude,
and navigate on the park.
while singing.
Yeah.
It's a Small World. I know you would. And by the way, number 13, your Snapchat feed didn't appreciate it. You know why?
I told her to FaceTime me.
I'm glad she didn't. I would have been mad. I would have been like, no.
Oh.
13, you cannot torture me from across the country. It's not okay.
I thought it was great.
Oh, well, I know, but I saw on her Snapchat feed. I'm like, go faster, go faster. But thank you for Snapchatting that, 13. Okay. And here, okay, so this one, I don't know. The jury's out on this one.
I don't like it.
It's a Small World?
No.
the next
The
one.
next one.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So the next one
What
is...
color is that?
That is going to be kind of, what would you call it? Just a maroon? kind
No,
of
it's red.
It's
no,
red?
it's straight red.
It's straight red,
Oh,
okay.
it's black and red.
It's black and red, okay. So it is modeled after Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah.
So out of these, this is number 2 for me that I would wear. It has horizontal stripes, so it is nothing for my figure, but that's fine.
It's ugly.
Well, you know why they do it? Because it's matching off the socks and different things from Pirates. But anyway,
Right.
So this one's going to be, again, upper body is going to be solid black, and then the sleeves and halfway down is going to be a black and red stripe. Again, on the back, it has the font of Disneyland, which I love that font. Again, I love the fonts on all of these, but they're just too big for that. And then the front, I can't quite make out what it may. It says Pirates of the Caribbean. And it is the skull and crossbones.
Yeah.
It is a skull and crossbones.
Jolly Roger, isn't it?
Jolly Roger and Pirates of the Caribbean. So I would be, out of all of these, in my number 2. Number 1 would be definitely the Haunted Mansion.
Yeah, that would be my go-to.
Okay.
So you guys can chime in. Which one would you wear, if any of them?
I don't think I'd wear any of them.
Really?
I'm not a Spirit tee person, jersey person.
I'm
But
not either. But
if I had to wear one around the park, Jess, you go first.
What?
If you had to wear, would
The Haunted Mansion one.
Would you consider buying one?
Well, I want to know when they come out because I want it.
Oh, you do
Wait,
want
which
it?
one do you want?
The
The
Haunted
Haunted
Mansion
Mansion one? Okay.
Yeah, I want
So
the
hold
Haunted
on.
Mansion.
I'll guess. I'm all. Yeah, I was gonna
Because
actually.
it's like something I would like wear tonight.
Oh yeah,
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you totally would be.
I think they were $40 or so.
They're expensive.
Yeah,
no, they're
$39.
like $60.
They're probably.
Oh, you're right.
$60.
They're
Yeah,
60.
and those are probably going to be more because they're themed.
Yes, they are themed.
God, I hope not. So I'm gonna say Jess would do that one. Mark, you would. I'm gonna guess you do Pirates. Yeah, no.
I would probably rock the Pirates one,
Okay.
I suppose. Yeah, if I had to wear one, but I'm not sure I'd drop 60 on that.
No.
Let me see the back again.
You would drop. You would drop
yeah, I like the
37 on a drink though.
That's because I didn't know.
Okay, which one do you wait? Okay, so if I'm giving the choice between Pirates and Haunt and Mansion, which one do you think I'm gonna wear?
You would. Let me see the colors again. Okay, I just think coloring you will look better in black and red.
I usually always. I mean, what am I wearing?
Yeah. But I don't. But that's a good question. What attraction are you more tied to? I don't know this answer.
And you know what?
I know. For me, which one is.
So okay. So I'm more tied to as a generational length of my life would be Pirates. But over the last few years, I've gotten a strange affinity and love for Haunted. I don't know what it is, but that is so far my last 2 trips. That is the most ridden attraction by yours truly. That outnumbers them by anything.
Well,
by
maybe.
this one.
Maybe. Well, I can think of one of the attractions that might trump it.
Which one?
The train.
Well, okay. We matched because we rode the train 3 times.
Yeah.
And I rode Mansion 3 times. So it matched.
It's true.
But the train hadn't been open and I hadn't ridden it in years.
That's
so
true.
I had to. But,
That's true.
Yeah, so I don't know. I would lean probably still towards Pirates because of the color, but I wouldn't say no to that Mansion one either. I like them. I like the color too.
Okay.
Brings out the color in my eyes.
It does. I was going to say that.
Look at the expression on Jess. That is freaking. And that is why how you do things that piss me off. And thank you. Right back at you.
Such disdain. Okay. Thanksgiving. If you're, we're gonna post those pictures on our website, so you can take a look and stuff like that. If you are planning to visit the Disneyland Resort for the Thanksgiving holiday, I guess Aaron is right. You said that.
Yeah, Aaron and Karina.
Yeah, Aaron and Karina.
Now is the time to call and make reservations for your holiday feast. Some of the most popular restaurants have already booked solid, including Apparos and Steakhouse 55, but there are still plenty of options for your family gathering. The headline holiday event is the Disneyland Hotel Thanksgiving meal, served from 11:30 to 6 o'clock in the Grand Ballroom of the Disneyland Hotel. This buffet-style meal features a variety of stations and cuisines with a special section devoted to kid-friendly dishes. Disney characters roam the dining area during the meal, and photo opportunities around the hall provide an excellent location for a family holiday photo. The cost is how much, Jess?
Per person or per family are we doing?
Per person for 10 up.
10 and up?
Mm-hmm.
$82.75.
Higher.
You are looking at it right now.
I'm looking at it right now.
Okay.
Oh. Well, that's with an annual pass discount.
I'll tell you, the
No, it
meal
wouldn't be.
the meal
Close
includes
then.
4 hours of complimentary self-parking at the Disneyland Hotel. So, in fact,
112.
Oh, you're close.
Ooh. That is with the Disney discount. Because what do you get? Wait, what do you get for an AP discount?
10%,
10%?
20%, 15%, 15%.
Oh, no, you'll be cheaper than
You'd
112.
be cheaper than, than one.
It's 120 for the average swill like me.
Yep. That's non-special people.
Yeah.
Not bad.
No. I want to chime something before I forget. Okay,
I can't breathe. Okay.
Are you okay?
Would you do that?
I would once.
I think I would do it once. I think I'd
Just to
want to be
do
able
it.
to do it. Yeah, exactly.
I should have done it when I worked there.
You should have.
I had Little Caesars for Thanksgiving dinner when I lived there. That was my Thanksgiving dinner. My roommate and I. That's what we had. Little Caesars. With no refrigerator.
Awesome.
Anyways.
Okay, Rudy.
Just throwing out. We talked about the changes to AP and pricing and when people would be able to go. Remember what they're doing over in Florida. Something upon listening to the episode back, something kicked off in my head, and this is just kind of brilliant. So I'm going to say it now before I forget. I said that I don't think Disney Disneyland proper won't get a full benefit out of it. Something struck me upon re-listening. I'm wondering, and it's just me thinking, what if with that they can actually now get to a point where they're going to sell out?
They will.
Okay, and so, but what I'm trying to say is that maybe they're going to do that to try to now start actively curbing admissions and trying to keep it to a point where they can actually control the madness that is coming. Just a thought. I'm like, look, get it in there because now there's actually a chance of it being sold out. A day you want to go is actually sold out, and you cannot go in. That distracted me in the flow of the conversation. I thought, well, if you did that, wouldn't that, in essence, maybe curb the madness? Like, I mean, it could. If they have to set the number at the proper area, but just me thinking.
Well, I know what you're thinking, and I think that's a good idea. But what is to stop someone who thinks they're intelligent and go, hey, you know what? I'm going to create my own business, and I'm going to buy 50 tickets for the most popular day, and I'm going to sell them.
Well, that's what they're going to do.
Well, you could. But either way, that doesn't change the amount of people going into the park.
That's true.
It's more...
Yeah.
It's more for that. It's more for seeing if they can actually keep, cap it off at what... Jess, do you remember what the max capacity is?
I don't anymore.
Okay.
But,
it's been a long time.
What if you go, oh, you know what? I'm going to go July 5th through July 10th. And you go, okay, and let's go get our tickets. But, okay, I can go on the 5th and 6th, but guess what? The 7th is already sold out.
You're going to have to start planning your trip that way.
May have to deal with it,
yeah. All right. I mean, that's just part of growing with it and seeing how it works because they have to make it. We have to answer those questions too. People had comments on the pictures.
Did they?
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, okay, we can get there after we're done.
Okay.
Or we're through this portion. Okay.
Okay. The next news item, which I don't. What is the last news item on yours? Just the
monorail rerouting theory.
Don't worry about that. That was a story that I saw on
We talked about that, right?
Fresh Break brought it up that how he thought they were going to redo the monorail.
Right.
That's not happening.
No.
It's not.
No, he said they were going to be pylons, and in fact, I answered his things. I said, Dave, I go, those pylons are way too close for that bend in that arc, and other people said the very similar things. And those you saw those foundations they laid down in front of the monorail, right? Those are going to be trees. Those, in fact, they're already full of trees. So don't worry about what that was. That was just me taking notes as the week went on. And then do you have 1971 on there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you want to talk about the Dead Hotel for sure, or do you want to?
That's the last item I have for tonight. We're going to talk about that, but I want to talk about a couple other news items that happened.
Okay.
Jedi Academy is ending its run at Disneyland.
Oh, boo-hoo.
Disney's popular Jedi Training Academy show has been a fixture of Tomorrowland for the past 12 years, but last week, cast members received an end-of-run notice informing them that the last performance of Jedi Training Trials of the Temple will be Saturday, November 3rd, 2018. A spokesperson for Disneyland confirmed the cancellation, telling the news source, "At the Disneyland Resort, we continually refine and adjust our creative entertainment offerings while still preserving the guest experience." The spokesperson said that Star Wars remains a huge focus of the resort. Does it? I didn't know that.
No
What?
effing way.
They're lying.
And the company is looking forward to the opening of Star Wars Galaxy's Edge next summer.
Barf. barf.
At this time, Disney has announced no plans to present a new or updated version of Jedi Training Academy within Star Wars Galaxy's Edge.
It's fine.
The Walt Disney World version of the show is not affected by this notice. If you are planning a trip to visit the show during the final month, be sure to pre-register. Blah blah blah.
Pre-register?
Your kids,
yeah,
and to just make sure there's space for it or whatever.
They're going to start charging you for it.
Yeah,
They better not.
Did you?
They
You
really-
had an audible gasp with this.
No. What I was thinking, and I know Jess is like, whatever. Here's it makes sense. I'm not like oh no.
No.
I'm more, for better or for worse, kids love that. I mean, we've paused and watched parts of it.
Yeah.
I don't mind it. I like the stormtroopers.
Yeah, I know you like the stormtroopers, but that is the only thing that I'm like, okay, it makes sense. It's got to end. Galaxy's Edge is coming. Maybe they're going to do something over there. It makes total sense. But
yeah,
I'm more like, oh man, think about all those kids that went and did it, just had a good time. It's going to be one of those things they remember for their entire life. And it's more of that. I'm more like, oh man, for better or for worse, it's a bit of magic, I think, and being able to participate in that and have fun and fight Kylo and whatever, and then be a Jedi with your lightsaber. I mean, so that's more of that. I'm like, oh man, kind of a bummer. And it's more a bummer not because I care, but because I'm thinking, man, how many kids are not going to be able to do that now? Maybe they'll have a new iteration of it when Galaxy's Edge comes back or it opens up. But I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what they do now. I mean, what are they going to do now with that area?
Well,
Disneyland date night.
Yeah, no, exactly. And I hope you're serious because that was before my time, of course. But that sounds like a very cool thing. Like Friday and Saturday nights would have like live bands showing up there and dancing.
Oh yeah,
I think that'd be awesome.
It would be great, but we're at different times.
Well, I hope
the Mad Tea Party would show up there.
Yeah, in Tomorrowland. Interesting.
Okay.
That would be great.
I'd be okay with it.
Would you?
No, she would freak out. No, she'd freak out if the Mad Hatter popped up, and I would too. I'm like, what are you doing here?
Yeah.
No, but I hope they do that. I'm agree with you, Mark. Okay. Maybe a lot of people will disagree with me, but I think there's a certain part of innocence and kind of heritage that we're losing. And part of me is that, like going out and having fun and enjoying music and just hanging out with. How many people don't do that? I mean, do that anymore? Too many people are scared of this or do. And why? Okay, go to Disney. That night you can go out. You can go and there's going to be a band playing or whatever. Go hang out, and you're going to be safe. Too many people now. I mean, I grew up in a different era where it didn't matter to us. We were out till the lights were coming on.
Absolutely,
on street lights were coming on. Too many kids don't have that anymore. So imagine, and young adults being teenagers. Imagine having that, or even right outside of teenagers and or young adults. That would be great. I hope they do something like that and just revitalizing that area would be great. And that's a good way to do it, I think.
Totally.
Absolutely.
Jess would totally do it.
And they had those special parties that they announced at the beginning of the year. I think there's only been 2 of them, right? One was like the flashback to the 50s.
They did Tiki Day.
Was that an official?
Enjoy. Well, I don't know if it was official.
I don't think that was an official Disneyland thing. So there was 2 Star Wars ones and one back to the 50s and 60s.
Yeah. They haven't done another one yet.
I would have thought there would have been more during the summer, but the 50s and 60s one, when they had like live bands playing, the videos I saw where people were just really connected and enjoying. It's like, where's that?
Because I think, one thing that Disney can always do and should always do is connect back to an innocent time. And I think that those kind of going back into the 50s, 60s, kind of reconnect that. I mean, because after that, you think about everything that happened in the world from 70s, 80s, 90s to where we are now. You look at the 50s and the 60s, there was a very jubilant time in the country. We came out of World War II. We defeated Hitler, and we turned things around. People were coming back. People who hadn't seen each other were being reunited. There was a new optimism and kind of an innocence to going back to just being happy. They just dodged a massive bullet, and here we are. And we haven't had that since then, in my opinion.
Right.
And why not go back to that and touch that and reacquaint people like, here's a time in our history, the park's history when it came up. I mean, what a perfect time for the park to even come into existence. why not go back to the beginning of the park and then reconnect with that innocence? And man, I mean, that would be fantastic. I know I would love it. I grew up listening to parts of some of that music, and that would be freaking fantastic, man. I agree.
And you gonna say something, Jess?
No, I'm just trying to breathe.
Okay, but like I'm thinking, like, how cool would it be? No, I don't like jazz music, but how cool would it be if the nights that Phantasm was dark, that they put a jazz band on the Mark Twain?
Oh yeah,
and you sail it around at night.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I would go to that just to try it. Try it.
I would jump on the Mark Twain and just freaking go for a couple laps around the rivers while they're playing.
Wouldn't that be cool?
Oh, that would be amazing. And then enjoy and just.
Jess would do it.
I would.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Again, I mean, you think about the magic of the rivers in general, and then add that extra layer to it, it'd be more fantastic.
Absolutely, it'd be phantasmic.
With 2 exclamation points.
Yes. Okay. So hopefully they do something with it, and we hope it's in the form of live music. In very LTP-esque story, snacks have gone up in the last week. The prices. Your next Disney snack will cost more thanks to resort-wide price increases that took effect last week.
Because they can't get their hotel anymore, they have to get your money somewhere.
Yeah.
We're getting there.
But yeah, the last news item is going to be the hotel. But do you want to go do the responses for what people said about the crowds first? We get to the hotel.
Your call. It's your world.
Are you going to tell us how much desserts?
No, they didn't have a list.
Oh.
But you can probably look online to see what they were. Okay, I guess
I wish I had a picture to take I want to take a picture of this right now. Jess is sitting there eating yogurt, a flip yogurt.
What's in the fridge, Jess?
While asking about snacks. This is too funny.
I know, it's a site for...
I know.
Yeah.
She's like, oh, yogurt. What about snacks?
What about snacks? Tell me about the snacks.
Oh, yeah.
I'll look it up. I was just intrigued on how much they raised them.
Okay. Well, then while she's looking it up, I'll tell you the latest news that came out yesterday or the day before. Disneyland formally cancels plans to build the 4th hotel. Nearly 2 months after Disney put construction of a planned 4th hotel in the Disneyland Resort on indefinite hold. You know what? I just butchered that whole sentence.
Do it again.
Nearly 2 months after Disney put construction of a planned 4th hotel at the Disneyland Resort on indefinite hold, and following Disney's request to cancel its participation in a controversial tax rebate intended to encourage investment in Anaheim, the company announced today that it has canceled the project. In a written statement, Disneyland spokeswoman Liz Jager says, "We've taken the time to review the economics of our proposed 4-diamond hotel for Anaheim and have made the final decision to cancel the project. While this is disappointing for many, the conditions and agreements that stimulate this investment in Anaheim no longer exist, and we must therefore adjust our long-term investment strategy." When Disneyland first announced the 4th hotel in 2016, it was to have been built on the corner of Disneyland Drive and Magic Way on land currently used as the downtown Disney parking lot. That particular project qualified for the Hotel Incentive Program approved by the Anaheim City Council in 2015, in which Disney could retain 70% of the transit occupancy tax paid by visitors for the first 20 years of operation. It's worth about $267 million is what they're talking about. So we're not going to get into the political aspects of this. The newly elected Anaheim City Council voted to end this incentive in December. So the question is, what will the company do with the vacant buildings on the west side of downtown Disney? The company says it has no plans to announce at this time, but noted that the Earl of Sandwich location reopened last week. If we were to speculate, it would be a relatively easy matter to reopen the second Starbucks location, which could likely serve up espresso again by Halloween. It won't be so simple to find new operating partners for the shuttered ESPN Zone and Rainforest Cafe spaces, nor does it make sense for Disney to reopen one or both as restaurants. In the midst of these changes, 2 new eateries are slated to open this fall, including Black Tap Craft Burgers and Beer and Ballast Point Brewery, also under construction as an expansion of the Naples Napolini restaurant duo and a new Salt and Straw ice cream shop.
Salt and Straw, we talked about that before.
The AMC could reopen, but there's no formal plans for that. It'd be most likely be several years before Disney makes a move in that direction for a future hotel development. So let's talk about this real quick.
It's going to look so bad having stuff just closed.
Yeah.
Awful.
Okay.
Bad show.
So you were dead set against the hotel from the get-go. Okay. And why was that? Just refresh our memories.
Because it sucks.
Okay.
I love it how she's very precise and succinct with her evaluation of why.
Because it sucks?
Yeah. It's horrible.
Okay.
Yeah.
It wasn't a good idea from the get-go. It wasn't a good idea.
You didn't like the design, or?
I didn't really look too much into the design, I'll be honest, because I didn't really care for it.
Yeah.
But the last one I saw announcing that they pulled the plug, it didn't look that bad. Mm-hmm. It would have been okay.
Sure.
But yeah, I don't know. I think they're trying to clutter too much in there, and they're trying to make us Disney World, and we're not. They're trying to put too much into this small area when there's not enough room.
Mm-hmm.
And all they're doing when they do that is bringing in more people. And we're already having a crowd problem.
Right.
It's only going to make things worse. Mm-hmm. And if they start limiting how many people they have in the park, like, tickets on certain days, half of those rooms are going to be empty because you can't go in there. They're not going to let in enough people every single day to fill up the new hotel, Disneyland Hotel, the pier, or Paradise Pier. I'm sorry. Yeah. The Grand, and then every single hotel that is not a Disneyland hotel.
Right.
There's no way.
Right.
People aren't going to book and stay when they don't have a ticket to stay that day.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
You're being logical.
And again, my big issue, and I talked about this on Mice Chat because there was a big article on that, and I kind of argue with some people, and they're upset, and I just said, look, I was dead set against them having a 4-diamond hotel here, anyways. These rooms were going to be about $1,200 a night.
I mean, I don't know about you, but I can afford it.
I know you can. I mean, you fly down there like.
Well, being part of the LTP, it comes with the.
Oh, for sure. Oh, yeah.
With it.
Oh, I mean, because we're so. I mean, yeah. For everyone else, it's expensive. For us, we're like totally comped. I mean, in fact, there's going to be an LTP suite. Is what they were going to.
They are.
Yeah,
it's going to have my face right above the bed.
Sure, but okay.
Your one-on-one face.
Yes.
Yes.
101 face.
So their big argument was, and I'm not saying Mice Chat but readers on there were saying that, the Anaheim Convention Center is one of the most popular convention centers. It's the largest, and it attracts affluent business members and affluent families that come to the park.
True.
Yes, it is.
And I said, you know what? That's wonderful. But number one, that should be a city of Anaheim issue. Mm-hmm. And number two, if Disney is worried about where affluent people are going to rest their heads, then that's a major issue to me. Mm-hmm. Is it they can't affluent people can't sleep at the Disneyland Hotel? Yeah. Is that like beneath them?
It is beneath them.
To me,
it's beneath me.
Oh, and well for you. I know.
Come on.
Yeah. And I want to call the Disneyland Hotel and see if we can get a room without any windows. See how much that with no view.
With no view.
Yes.
You want no windows. You don't even need a shower.
In fact, next time, let's call them and we'll put it on the show. We'll blank the person's name out and say, hey, how much would a room cost? Okay, well, what kind of view do you want? Oh, I don't want a view.
No, just no windows.
No windows.
And no doors.
No. And there can be a mop in there and a bucket if you want. I don't care.
How much would it cost me?
Yes, I just want to stay there.
I like it.
Okay, we will do that. And we will do it. Mm-hmm. But so, again, if Disneyland is so concerned about where affluent people are going to rest their heads, they're in the wrong game. They do not need to be catering to that.
No. Because those people will still pay the same amount in a ticket price to walk in that front gate.
Yeah.
So their bread and butter are people like you and like us and everyone who's listening.
Yeah.
That is where they should be focusing.
Yeah.
So I didn't necessarily disagree with that hotel.
No.
But I also am not. Am I sad that it's not happening? No. Does it bother me in the least bit? No. Do I think what I do feel bad for is the lost jobs and incomes for people who would have worked.
Absolutely.
Construction, development, engineering, and then operating.
And that's a very good point that we're talking about.
Yeah, operating that facility is going to take people. 1,000, probably 1,200. I think is what they're saying. 1,200. So I mean, in this day and age, I went off on it when they were arguing back and forth. I went off it before, so I'm not going to go too far into it. That is what I feel bad for. You think about everything that people, average people, you and me who want to work and just go and enjoy themselves, how many people that were just going there to work?
Mm-hmm.
And now how many construction companies and contractors and subcontractors and electricians and cement guys and architects and engineers, and you go on and on and on. you think about those kind of people who would benefit from this development of this project are now, it's all gone. And then that's where I'm at. I'm like, will it make a difference? No. I in the long view of the whole thing or everything, it's not going to make a huge difference, I think, in the park itself. But I think directly it affects people and potential for people to work and to earn a living and to be able to just live and then enjoy the park. So I agree with you. If they're worried about, if certain people are mad about, they're affluent, it doesn't matter. Wrong demo.
Sure.
Wrong demographic. And if they want, go beef up, California, make that more or whatever, or get one of the towers at freaking Disney and then make that the luxury tower. Whatever.
Yeah.
There's so many things you could do if you're really worried about it, but day in and day out, Disney, that isn't who pays their bills. Doesn't make the money from them. It's people like you and me. So, in my opinion, the only people who got hurt in this, again, and I'll say it again, is the average person who now doesn't have a job, doesn't have the potential for having a job, doesn't have, because you don't know how many people can move the company. I was talking to a friend of mine today. His niece works for Disney. And she works in media, in some of their inside media, I think is what he said. He wasn't sure exactly, but he told me she started off as a cast member on an attraction. And she's moving up the company. So you think about that kind of thing, and you're like, how many missed opportunities now because some bureaucrat and some exec couldn't figure it out. So that is my biggest gripe over everything. I don't care that it's not getting built. I just more care about the people who now have lost the potential and possibility of bettering their lives, what I'm trying to say, making their lives better and potentially doing better for themselves and their families. So that is my biggest gripe.
Sure.
Like, really, you guys, I think that's lame, and really that's what it's lame. So I hope whatever they do, they figure it out quick. I hope Disney figures it out quick. Get people back over there. Whatever they're going to do with the empty spaces. I agree with Jess. Extremely bad show. Shouldn't be happening. And if they knew this was going to die, they better have their plans and get it moving quick because the holidays are coming fast. People are going to need jobs, and people are going to be coming to the park.
Sure.
So whatever it is, figure it out fast, get it moving, and get it on, and then for many reasons, get people working again, and then. No bad show, man. We get enough of that right now. We're getting too much of that now. We need to stop.
And speaking of lost jobs, the people that were working at ESPN Zone and Rainforest Cafe have been displaced for naught.
Yeah, for nothing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I would be so mad.
And you think about it. How would you feel if you get noticed, hey, we're going to shut this down, you guys are out of a job?
Yeah.
You're like, oh, crap. And then you hear that.
Yeah.
Dude, how mad would you be?
Yeah, if anyone's listening that knows anyone that was impacted by this, have them reach out to us. I'd like to talk to them.
Info@leavingtodaypodcast.com.
Info@leavingtodaypodcast.com or Instagram or Facebook. We'd love to have them on the show. Yeah. They've got food trucks down there now. Have you seen that?
No.
Like the Habit has a food truck, and there's another one down there. Okay,
not the same thing, but yeah, it's fun.
So another thing, there is an empty space behind the Disneyland Hotel that is a parking lot,
right?
And it's for downtown Disney. It's the one outside the security gate that I got accosted twice.
Your favorite? That's going to be Mark's.
Someone had said that could be slated for another hotel at some point, but they brought up an interesting point, was that the Star Wars Hotel in Florida is going to be more of a demo one for if they can see what works out there,
and then they'll do it over here,
and they'll bring it out over here, and that hotel here would have its own entrance into Galaxy's Edge.
Well, we talked about it.
Yes,
and you're right. We said it. If they're going to do it, that would be the way they have to do it.
So it will be interesting to see how that plays out in the next couple of years, and we'll keep talking about this because I want to hear what your ideas are for what they should do in downtown Disney. I guess I'd be more upset if this hotel, and I like the design, by the way. If this hotel was like a moderate price between Paradise Pier and Disney, I would have been like, okay, I'm all aboard with this.
Yeah, because then you're catering again to the masses, to the unclean masses of the people that pay the bills for that park.
Yeah. So no big loss for me.
No.
Okay. So any more thoughts on that, Jess?
Nope.
How's your yogurt?
It's gone.
Was it good?
It was okay. It wasn't great.
Okay, so we had the question about. I posted some pictures. Right, I did, didn't I?
Yeah, I don't know how. I mean, I am not an Instagram savvy person.
Did you get responses on it?
I did.
Okay.
Okay, so Becky got back, but she changed her name to something else. Becky something, but it's her.
Yeah, she's there.
The Becky Bella, I think is what she's calling herself now. Hey, Becky.
Hi, Becky.
Hi.
She's in Arizona, I think. Okay.
That's correct.
Okay, so she goes. So what we did is we posted 3 pictures on Instagram on a story that I butchered. So I'm sorry about that. And it was of 3 crowds. The first one was a crowd outside of the park at Harbor Boulevard, and then the other 2 were New Orleans Square outside. Looks like Pirates of the Caribbean from here. So she says, "How do these pictures make me feel? They make me want to kick a stroller. They make me want to yell, 'I will delete you!' Haha! If you are WWE fans, you will get the reference. I don't get it.
Sorry.
Do you get it?
No.
Okay.
Wrestling fan.
Crickets.
Yep.
Crickets.
No.
I'm sure it's funny.
Okay. Well, then let's just give him a round of laughter.
Okay.
Okay. In all seriousness, no. That's what she says. In all seriousness, no. They make me think hard about spending so much money to visit the park. They also make me want to pass on Disneyland and go visit Walt Disney World more, even though I live on the West Coast, because there's just more space there.
Yep.
I also do want to say the last couple of times I visited the park, it did look very similar to this, the day before Halloween last year and also 2 days after Christmas. And although I have so much love for the park, it was so congested. During Fantasmic, we literally couldn't move, so it was so packed that we had to just stand in the area kind of in front of the Pirates and wait for the show to be over to move. Yeah, I can definitely feel you on that.
So frustrating.
Right?
Yep. So
let's see. Jose mentioned something. He had said, let's see. This is why I would be used to it. However, it would not be the same in a few months with Galaxy's Edge, and I know Disneyland needs to be really clever moving crowds away from there. He's talking about the crowds. And, okay. From what I remember, it was a crowded scene, the Rivers of America. I have been used to visit the parks during the peak season during the 2000s when we were there every year, either during Labor Day weekend or Christmas break. And that's how he said this is how it used to be. And then he said, wow, even though I've been there during the high season, I have never been into such a long security line. It is something that happens, and it may get worse, but I think you can avoid it at least a bit with proper planning and getting there in time. It seems Disneyland tries to do something about it with things, what they did into Adventureland. I think he means Tropical Hideaway. However, they need to do more. I don't know if they're waiting to see how crowds behave, but I think they have some sort of crowd algorithm simulators to deal with those issues. But they definitely need to do something about it. A second entrance on the back would not be such a drastic idea. I don't know if that was a plan, but if the new hotel was going to be in the Star Wars hotel, they could do a rear entrance back there. You know, you're right, Jose. We in fact, we just talked about that. And I think you're definitely right about a crowd algorithm. We talked about that before, how they need to figure out how people are happy. So the question was, if you're going to the park in the morning and you get there and security's backed up to Harbor Boulevard, what are you going to do? Exactly. So Aaron mentioned that he said, I would probably go to DCA. No, really, I'd probably just go to another part of the park, maybe seek out one of the many LTP secret spots. Don't talk about those. Like over by Splash Mountain.
We just said don't talk about them.
You're already at the park, so no point in leaving. Just got to make the best of it. So I don't know. If I had gone to the park in the morning and it was just like that, I'd probably just deal with it, I suppose. Or I might suggest to the girls if they wanted to go to breakfast somewhere across the street or something. But who knows? Or maybe go to downtown Disney for a little bit. I don't know.
Well,
I agree with Jose on one point, and I think it's because of how I am when I go to the park. I'm the guy who wants to be there before rope drop if possible. I want to be there early because I kind of want to avoid the potential of me walking into something like that.
Yes.
Because if I walked into that, I don't know how I would be. I think I'd be frustrated would be the nice way of putting it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because there would be a thing of like, okay, I need to slog through this line, and then I'm going to go into the park, and then I don't know. It's rough because I'm afraid it would I feel like it'd taint the day.
Yeah.
I mean, when we went a few years ago, we got stuck in a long-ish security lane, which was not even that bad. And even then, I'm like, okay, come on, like let's go. So I don't know. And then going through the park, looking at it, if I'm in the park already and I'm seeing the massive crowds like we saw on those pictures, it would be rough. But you know what? I think once I'm in the park, I get a little bit more. What's the word I want to say? Not immune to it, but I just kind of cut through it. I just recognize a lot of people.
Desensitized.
Yeah, there you go. That's a good way to put it. I'm desensitized to the crowd. I'm just like, okay, and I'm more thinking about where I am, what I'm doing, and what I want to be doing.
Yes.
And then I just move accordingly. I have a habit or a tendency to look at a situation, and instead of usually running through it like a bull in a china shop, I usually try to look at it and go like, okay, if I just do X, Y, Z, I can maneuver through it quickly and get it done.
And you're very familiar with the shortcuts and ways to avoid it.
And the way knowing the park the way I do, there's plenty for me to cut through. Like the average park goer that goes there,
You would think so.
yeah, well, they don't know.
It's not happening anymore.
Yep. So now we can, you can cut through. But the average park goer doesn't. They just kind of walk through and drone through. Unfortunately, I would say 80% of the people that go there now kind of just, for lack of a better, I'm not trying to denigrate them, but they kind of drone through. They kind of go like, oh, a lot of people, and they ride like a handful of attractions, and they kind of go like, okay, well, Disneyland, yay, They don't understand like you can make it a lot better, and you can find a lot of things. But I don't know. That's just my take. The security is always a big thing that bugs me. I hate it. And part of me is that I hate that it's necessary.
It's getting worse.
And I hate that we have to do that. And that's more of a social commentary than a commentary on what Disney has to do.
Right.
But anyway,
Yeah. Any more thoughts on that, Jess?
Nope.
Okay.
How did I? She's like, nope.
Well, that was it. That's going to be episode 71. Oh, let's see.
You have something else? No, nothing?
Well, no, I wanted to make sure that I touched on what happened in 1971 just real quick because I know people like to know that. I mean, I don't know if they want to know that.
I want to know.
1971, Walt Disney World opened in Orlando, Florida. Of course, we have an honorary LTP member there right now on assignment, I might add.
Yep.
Yes.
Soon.
Yes.
Report coming soon.
Yes, report coming soon. Is she bringing us back any souvenirs?
I asked her for a sweatshirt, but she said there aren't any good ones, so she's sending me pictures.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe they might have that Spirit jersey there.
That's true. I should send her a message.
Okay. Davy Crockett Explorer canoes were redesigned.
Dude.
They changed from the Indian War canoes to the Davy Crockett Explorer.
Didn't they reduce the front of it too? And I don't know. I'm trying to remember him growing up versus. No, never mind. Because they've been the same since I was a kid. Never mind.
Yeah,
because they changed maybe the graphics, but yeah, okay.
Well, they didn't have the original war part.
Yeah,
they were flat, so Disney put those on there.
Yeah. That is what I'm talking about. Yeah,
I think they're by Old Town, weren't they? Old Town was we carried it at the chalet.
Yeah.
So they were by Old Town, but Old Town didn't make the war canoe, but they made the body. So Disney had to re-engineer the little top.
Yeah.
And guys and girls, Old Town was still around these days. They make a fine vessel.
They do.
Incredible stuff.
Yeah, I have actually been in a few of them. Yeah.
Oh, I've lugged them out to cars many times.
Yeah.
I've been in one.
Yeah.
That was really it for 71. The big thing was Disney World opened, and other than that, yeah. Okay, so that's going to wrap up episode 71. Episode 72 is going to be recorded next week or so, and we have a special guest coming on that we think you will love. If you love food and you want to eat like Walt, I'll give you a hint. Then you'll be definitely interested in this conversation. And we'll have Jay on too.
Yeah, I was going to say, don't forget to mention that.
Yeah, we're just trying to get our schedules synced up because Jay's part of the LTP family, and we're going to get him on.
Yep.
And then we're going to have a report from Walt Disney World coming up soon. And then we will talk about if we were going to design a land, what would be in it. That's our job.
Yeah.
We have our assignment.
It's going to be called Galaxy's Edge. It's going to be all Star. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
Totally kidding.
Yeah. Okay, so hopefully tonight was a little more of a cheery one. But sometimes, you know what? You need to have that talk.
And thank you guys so much for sending in your audio.
Oh, my gosh.
That is by far the highlight of this episode is you guys. Thank you.
Thank you so much for listening, guys. And hope we make
you. Thank you. Yeah, thank you for your support. Yep.
Hope we make your commute better and your days brighter and all that kind of good stuff.
Yep.
If you have any thoughts on this, please reach out to us on our social medias. And let's go with that. Jess, where can people find you?
Instagram is Storybook Jess. My Facebook is Jessica Farfan. And our podcast Facebook is Leaving Today Podcast.
Okay. Hury for Witty Banter.
You can find me on all of my socials, which are Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat, all haxgoalie, haxgoalie. And you can find me on my other show, Bad or Bad. And we, with the new producer, we've had a couple technical glitches. We'll have 2 shows, I think, popping up here in the next week or 2, I hope.
Wow.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah. Good. Okay, for me, you can send me email at info@leavingtodaypodcast.com, Instagram at leavingtodaypodcast, or my own one is Edge of Mark. All these are on our show notes, all these links, so you can go in there and follow us and check out what we're doing. Thank you so much for listening. And between now and then, go to TeePublic and go to Leaving Today, search for Leaving Today, and find a shirt for you or for yourself. We have mugs on there and everything, and stickers. We also have a Patreon page, so go check that out. And it's on our show notes as well. Feel free to contribute. If not, we'll still do the show. And also go to exponentialroasters.com and enter LTP20 to get 20% off your very first order. Thank you so much for listening. Until then, we will see you guys in the parks. But Jess isn't going to go. So Jess won't see you in the park.
I might not see you in the park.
I don't believe her.
Good night, you guys.
I don't believe her either. Bye.
Bye.
Hey, welcome to the LTP, coming into you on this nice Thursday night here. It's a cool 72 degrees here in Northern California. Coming at you, keeping it real on the LTP right now, on the LTP Hideaway right now. What's up?
The timing couldn't be any more worse than it is right now.
Don't say anything right now. You need to get LTP approval before you leave.
Okay. I don't know the date yet.
All right.
So
if Udi and I say no, well, if I say yes and Udi says no, that means you can't go.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Udi will always say no.
I will. No, actually, I'm not an a-hole like that. But, while they work on technical issues, I'm going to sit here and drink.
Hit it and quit it.
Bam! Oh, what?
My mouth hurts.
And every time I look at it, it makes me cry a little bit on the inside. It really does. No, I will give you one.
You have to give me 2.
Nope.
One from the back.
Drink your alcohol that's way too strong.
Way too strong.
Kitty.
Oh my goodness. Boy, was my face